darling viewers, it's Jen here at Check Her Joy, and this time I'm reviewing River Marked by Patricia Briggs. This is the 6th book in the Mercy Thompson series, and I listened to the audiobook for this, which is read by Lorelei King. So this review and the entire book itself will spoil the books before it. So if you haven't read those yet, I recommend starting with book 1, which is Mooncalled, and I will post the link to my review for that in the description below. These books follow a shapeshifter named Mercy Thompson as she gets involved with werewolves and vampires and witches and fairies and everything mystical, paranormal. But Mercy's just an awesome character. So, alright, moving on to this book. In this one, Mercy and Adam finally get married, and there is a huge, a good chunk of the first part of this book is the wedding and planning it, and I really loved Mercy's mom coming up with all these crazy things and telling Mercy what's going to happen at her wedding, because Mercy didn't want to plan it and her mom did, so Mercy's just letting her mom do it. But her mom's also coming up with some crazy stuff, so Mercy's getting freaked out, and I feel like that would be me getting married. I'd be like, I don't care about planning the wedding until everybody starts coming up with crazy ideas, and I'll be like, actually, let's just go elope right now, please. Please. But in the end, Mercy and Adam do end up getting married, and an absolutely wonderful ceremony that I really enjoyed that scene for. And I enjoyed all the cameos from minor characters from the previous books showing up for their wedding. And then they go on vacation and their honeymoon. And Adam has a surprise honeymoon set up for her. Doesn't want to tell Mercy what's happening, but they have a camper van. And they actually end up going camping along the Columbia River in this, it's not really this kind of campground that Adam's been doing security for. And it's not open yet, so Adam and Mercy have a place to themselves. And they get to run around and be werewolves and shape-shifting coyotes and just do their thing and just be the two of them together, and I love it so much. This book is so Adam-Mercy relationship focused, and I love the fact that it's the two of them finally getting to take a breath and get to know each other and kind of not have the pack crawling all over them, or Jesse, or even Samuel and Mercy's cat Medea. There's a break, and I love it. I love watching the two of them together. I love watching the two of them flirt. It's also a pretty clean romance. The two of them, they're on their honeymoon and they're getting it on, but we're not seeing it. It's not graphically described, which I really love, because sometimes those scenes and these kinds of books get super awkward, and I'm like, I am gonna keep skipping. Please don't have anything important happen during the scene. So I like the fact that this is a clean romance. But also they're adorable together, and their chemistry and their relationship and watching the two of them get to know each other better. There's also parts of this book that are Adam. So we get to know Adam a lot better as readers. So I loved the whole Mercy-Adam relationship part of this book. It's awesome. The big conflict in this book, though, is that there is a monster in the river. It's called the River Devil, and it's just eating people, which is not great. We find out that this is it's this ancient monster that's been fought by fairies and coyote before, and they've kind of defeated it, but not actually killed it. And now it's awake again, and it wants to eat everybody, which is not great. And it's kind of manipulative, and I found it super interesting as a monster, and also who was behind waking it up and why. Also, there are shape-shifting otters in this. So instead of having people who shapeshift into animals, these are otters that can shapeshift into humans, which I thought was kind of an interesting touch, to kind of flip that. It's not too crazy off of everything else that happens in this series, but it's a little bit different and unique. You get to find out more about Mercy's past in this book, but specifically more about her dad and her Native American heritage. So she discovers the river monster because he's attacking this Native American guy, and when Mercy saves him, his friends come, and she finds out that they know, or at least knew, her dad. And so it's kind of cool that Mercy gets to find out more about her father and who he was and why she's the way she is, why she's a walker, how she got her powers, what her dad could do, which I loved. We also get to find out more about Native American mythology within the series because Mercy's Native American, but she doesn't know much about it herself. So we don't know much about it either. And so it's cool to finally get to see some of that and to see the history of the skinwalkers and the tribes and the way that mythology works. And Coyote plays a big part in this, as like the trickster god in the American stories, but also as Mercy changes into a coyote, and so she has this affinity for Coyote, which is really cool. Like I love Coyote in Native American stories. Like I love the trickster gods in any mythology. So it was really cool to find out more about Coyote in this universe, and also to find out more about Mercy specifically and her powers. And I feel like we really got to know a lot about Mercy in this book. So I loved this book. It felt like a nice little palate cleanser in the middle of the series. So the first 5 books are very much about Mercy and all the chaos and everything happening in the Tri-Cities. And the further we get into the series, the more all the werewolf pack stuff starts taking over. And I feel like there's just so much of it that it's great to get to see Mercy kind of by herself, with Adam, and there's just kind of a breather. We get new characters and a new setting. We kind of get to reset and leave the pack drama for a while, and I love it. It's like the perfect place to have this. And then I'm currently reading book 7, so I know that we go back to the pack in book 7. So if you love the pack and you're upset, I mean, they're coming back. Don't worry. And obviously they're there for the wedding because Adam's the alpha. Why wouldn't his pack be at his wedding? So I loved that part of this. I love the fact that it felt different, but it also still feels like Mercy and Adam, and we just get to know them so much better in this book. So this is actually probably my favorite one in the series so far. I did still give it 4 stars. I couldn't quite convince myself to give it the 5th, but I mean it's really, really good. It's definitely my favorite one in the series so far. I love it. I'm loving the series. Like I said, I'm already on to book 7, so clearly I'm just chugging along until I hit the end of my books, which is coming up pretty close. I think I got 4 more books to read. Yeah. So if you've read this book, let me know what you thought of Rivermarked, or what do you think of Mercy in general. Try to keep the spoiler free. Hopefully I succeeded. Yeah. I'm loving Mercy. Oh. One of my favorite parts in this book, though, is Mercy goes to Walmart to buy clothes because her clothes have all been destroyed from shapeshifting and chaos, and they're not at home. So they go to Walmart, and just seeing Adam in Walmart, and he's so uncomfortable. Like, he really wants to go take Mercy somewhere more expensive that's a better environment and something he's more familiar with. But Mercy's like, I'm just gonna tear up these clothes anyway, and I would feel way better if it was a $5 t-shirt than like a $30 one. And she's being so practical, and Adam is just like, I can't protect you in this environment. There are too many people, too many stuff going on. I love that. I love the little touches in this book. This series has tons of little tiny things that are just like situationally funny. I love you guys, and keep reading. Bye.